Morning, everybody. So yesterday we talked about doing, which is one part of the equation between, or with the difference between being and doing. So today let's talk a little bit about being. When we think about being as a whole, being actually sounds a lot easier to do than what it is, because there's so much pre-programming from our experiences and all the learning that we've done up until this moment that kind of kick in. So all those defenses, all of the messages and the patterns that we've grown accustomed to and that are very automatic. So in order to be able to move into a space of being within ourselves, we have to be able to raise our sense of self and our awareness of self. Now, this being in the beginning sounds selfish in a way, because it is moving people to focus on themselves inwardly, and learning to listen to themselves from the inside, and how you feel about yourself and how you feel you are representing yourself in the outside world, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of personal growth in that state of being. Being is the ability to sit with yourself, with your authentic self, your authentic essence, and to be able to then take that and move it outside into the outside world without being influenced by all of the things that you've learned throughout your lifetime. So essentially without the ego part of the mind, which the ego part of the mind is a lot of that programming, for lack of a better way of saying it, that we've had throughout the years. So it's being able to sit with your authentic self and your essence of self and move that outward, but also growing it and expanding it from within. And what ends up happening, believe it or not, is that the focus, instead of being on the self so much, is it introduces you to the concept of all is one. And it introduces you to the truth of being, which is that we are all a part of each other. Not just us as human beings, but everything. So it slowly and gradually moves you to the essence of the whole, and shows you how you are a part of that whole. So being, very simple, conceptually when we think about it, but not necessarily the easiest thing to do, because it does take time, it does take some work, it does take some awareness of self, and it does take a certain level of wanting to do that as well, because it is a lot of work, like I was mentioning. But once you get to a certain stage, it doesn't feel like work anymore. It kind of just happens on its own. So then it just becomes a fulfilling of who you are within the grand consciousness, if you want to call it that, or within the all that we are. All right, so I'll talk a little bit more about that and expand on it a little bit, but I'll leave it at that for today. Have yourselves a great day. Be good to yourself, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.